All right. So we'll call the meeting to order. This is the meeting of the Westborough Recreation Commission. It's Tuesday, February 25th. I'm just going to read the governor's statement here. Pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12th, 2020 order, suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 18, and the governor's March 15th, 2020 order imposing strict limitations on the number of people that may gather in one place. This meeting of the Westborough Recreation Commission will be conducted via remote participation. Specific information and general guidelines for remote participation by members of the public and/or parties with the right and/or requirement to attend this meeting can be found on the town's website at www.town.westborough.ma.us. For this meeting, members of the public who wish to listen and watch the meeting may do so in the following manner. This is being recorded live on Westborough TV's YouTube page, and a recording of this meeting will be posted on westboroughrec.com. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings in real time via technological means. In the event that we are unable to do so, despite best efforts, we will post on the Westborough Recreation website an audio or video recording, transcript, or other comprehensive record of proceedings as soon as possible after the meeting. That's that. All right, so the first thing we need to do is approve the December minutes. I sent those out a while ago, so I don't know, hopefully you had a chance to look at them. But we would need a motion and then a second.
I could make a motion to approve the December minutes.
I'll second that.
Errol can second.
There's a discussion. Okay, you can do a roll call vote. So,
Colleen Dowd, yes.
Earl, yes.
Bill Clausen, yes.
great, and that's 3, and we have a 5-person board, so that we have a quorum, so that's fine. And okay, so that was the first thing. So second, Sean O'Day is here. He's was appointed a non-voting member to our commission, feels like a while ago. So he's been very patient as I reschedule all of these meetings. So we just wanted to take a second to meet him. Sean, I don't know if you want to introduce yourself a little bit or. Oh, you're on mute, Sean.
Hi, yeah, my name is Sean. I just moved to Westborough like 6 months ago. So probably more around October. So whatever that math is, 4 or 5. Yeah, my name is Sean O'Day. This is my first time like in any form of like town committee thing. But my father I come from East Hartford, Connecticut, and my dad is on the Inland Wetlands Committee there. So I know a little bit about like verbiage and stuff.
Awesome.
Welcome aboard, Sean.
Yeah, welcome, Sean.
Good to have you.
Yeah, and thank you again for your patience with me as I
No problem.
hopefully get on a more regular schedule. So Sean, just as you know, you're a non-voting member, but you're free to weigh in on anything that is on our agenda that we discussed. It's just any vote, even the minutes, you just wouldn't be able to participate at this time. Yeah, so great. Okay, the next is just a program update. We opened spring and summer registration on Monday, and I would say it was pretty successful. I mean, it wasn't as crazy as it usually is, but I think given the circumstances, I was pretty happy with it. Adam, I don't know if you want to talk about anything specific, skiing or summer, but I can let you have the floor for that.
Sure. So ski club is over after 2 weeks of snow delay. So that was a longer stretched out ski season than normal, but glad that it went well. Parents spoke very highly of it. You know, the mountain did a really good job with COVID protocols. So that was really good. And then for summer, registration is a little lower than usual, but I also think people are hesitant to register for programs just because of COVID. But one thing we did this year is we, instead of paying the whole balance up front, you pay a 10% deposit. So if things happen where something happened with COVID and we can't run our programs or anything like that, there's not money that you're waiting on to get refunded to you back in the balance. It's kind of more of a way to get people kind of sold on our programs. So that's kind of what the update with that. For summer programming, we're kind of just taking stuff as we go. I will hopefully by the end of next month, March is actually, so end of March, have summer concert series lined up and ready to go. I don't want to make any immediate decisions again, because in case COVID changes plans with outside gatherings and stuff. But I've been getting lots of information from bands that are interested in doing being part of the summer concert series. So that's kind of it for what I have. So,
And I will
any updates on how we've adjusted relative to COVID? Anything to talk about as far as the programs and how we've evolved them so we can take on?
I think
go ahead, Adam.
the biggest thing in the programming realm, a lot of our stuff has been virtual just because of the fact that I think if we had our own recreation facility, we'd probably be able to offer a lot more in-person programming. But obviously, because we're at the mercy of the schools and what we're allowed to do, we haven't been able to do a lot of in-person programming. We have been trying to do little clinics here and there. I know in the spring, I'll be running a short tennis clinic. Steven does his normal lacrosse clinic. And then I think with the weather being better, hopefully we'll be able to get a lot more vendors to be able to do programming outside. And hopefully this summer, knock on wood, will be even better with the COVID outlook. So we'll be able to do a lot, continue to offer more programming. So.
Great,
I
thanks.
just think, we just know more too. We're just prepared. A lot of the sports vendors that I talked to, all of them who were hesitant, rightfully so, last year, felt that even if they had to run a program today, they would feel a lot more comfortable. Just masks are the norm. People just kind of are more used to this now. So I think we'll definitely be in a better spot this year, obviously, than we were last year to be able to offer things.
And pretty much all the towns around us are in the same boat, right? They're all going through the same things. So.
Oh yeah, yep. But everyone feels the same, is that they feel way more comfortable running their summer camps. Northborough's running theirs. I was on a call a couple of weeks ago talking about beach operations. People are planning to have a summer. It'll look different than it ever has, but people just feel so much more prepared. Yeah. And I think parents too are more prepared to send their kids back out into the world with, now knowing everything that we know. Last year, everything was just so up in the air.
Yeah, right. Great.
I will say that I think the most popular program, not that it's a race or anything, but was grades 4 through 6 girls basketball, had the most registrations on opening day. So
interesting. Wow, that's great.
Okay. So that's where we're. All right, next, the golf course. So I have a lot to report here. It's been a long 2 months dealing with the golf course. If it wasn't for Earl, I probably would be, I don't know. Earl has just been such a huge help to me. He's let me vent to him. He's let me complain, and he's helped me find solutions to a bunch of different things. So it's been a real work in progress over the last 2 months. But I feel really good about where we are at with the golf course. So we were not able to find a manager to run the golf course. Oh. So Jack Negosian, the old pro, had still been hanging around, offering to help in any way he could, and finally offered to he offered to stay on for the year. So we worked with him, and he's going to become a town employee and stay on for the rest of the year, which is great.
Good.
Yep. But all of the other changes that we were anticipating, like I said, he's going to be a town employee. We're moving forward with electric carts. All of the revenue will flow through the town. So it won't be how it used to be, which was that Jack was a private contractor taking some of the money and the town taking some of the money. Jack essentially, it was kind of laughed saying this, he'll report to me. So all of that is still going to change. It'll just be Jack, like a familiar face in the pro shop. So I don't know if anyone has any questions or anything specific you'd want me to go into. Oh, I should mention that the country club operating committee will be disbanding. March will be their last meeting. So the plan right now would be that one or two of those members will be joining our commission as golf liaisons. So instead of having a separate golf commission, they'll just join us. There's still kind of ironing out how, who gives the permission to expand our commission, but that is the plan. So hopefully by April, May, we'll have two more new people to talk about, to be here as kind of golf people. So
Jen,
that's where I'm happy to answer any questions too. It might just be easier if you have specifics.
I do have a couple. One, do you know who's going to join the board? Who's going to be from coming over?
Not yet. So March is their last meeting. So I told them in February, at their February meeting, that they should think about maybe, I don't know how they want to do it. I don't want to pick the people. They should nominate or volunteer, and then maybe we can have a discussion. So I'm going to kind of let them sort it out for themselves. One thing too, this is going to be a full municipal operation. So while 99% of the things are going to stay the same, there's some little things that can't happen. Specifically, I don't want to scare anyone if you're watching, tournaments are still happening, but there is a tournament committee that is formed to handle the tournaments. Because any kind of, oh, there's Beth. Get on.
Hello.
Hi, Beth. Just talking about the golf course.
Hi, Beth.
Hi, Earl. How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing, dear?
Good.
That's
So Beth,
good.
we're live on Westborough TV.
Okay.
Just so you know.
Oh, great.
There's probably at least 500,000 people watching right now. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes. Okay. I might be a star.
Yes, we're saying, yeah.
That's all.
So I was just updating that we, finally officially have taken over the golf course. Jack, the old pro, is actually going to stay on as a town employee. So like I was saying, so tournaments and all that are still going to happen, but they're going to be managed by a tournament committee. And it's like Earl puts it, it's on a need to know basis for me. They'll schedule their times and then it's their operation. So one of the committee members is running that. Sorry, totally lost my train of thought. Is running that. So I don't know if he would be the best fit to join this commission, but outside of that, anyone from that committee could join this, could be eligible to, join.
And money from tournaments is back to the town, right? Back to,
No,
it's separate?
no, that money all stays with the tournaments. The tournaments, they run their own. We do not have anything to do with it. No, nothing will go into the golf shop or anything. That's all run among the members, and they have their own treasurer, and they take care of all of however they're going to award credits or anything, but nothing goes to the town. We have nothing to do with that. That's like I said, it's a need to know basis. We don't have anything to do with it.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, and it's and it's all members typically anyway, so it's not like
Yep.
we're losing out on money. And I've worked closely with them about what tee times they can reserve. I don't know, in the past it used to be, because this is the thing too, the golf course, we need to make money there. And there needs to be a fine balance of member play and greens fee play.
Mm-hmm.
So I think in the past, it used to be these tournaments would take up, a Saturday 7 to 3. And yeah, if we use the times, great. If we don't, we don't. So it needs to be really specific. How many tee times do you need? How many people are playing? And then, if 1 o'clock is the last tee time, we're opening the course up to public play at 1:15, it's not just a block of time that's blocked off. So those are the things that'll be a little bit of a challenge, trying to balance members and greens fee play, but I think we can do it.
So Jen, I had my original question that I wanted to get to was,
Oh yeah.
do we know why we couldn't get the golf manager? Was it salary? Was it location? Was it time? Was it COVID? What was it? Do you know?
Sure. I have a few thoughts. Golf is a real fickle world. There's certain parameters when you're hiring a golf manager that we didn't anticipate. For example, one of them being the base salary seemed to be fine, but a lot of golf pros make a significant amount of their money teaching on the side. So again, as a municipal operation, we just have to be really careful about what we allow. The example that I keep using is that when I teach basketball, I don't get a fee for that. That's part of my job. You know what I mean? It's part of my job. It's not like I say, oh, I'm going to take $10 for every kid that registers. In golf, at first we thought people were being sort of unrealistic, but as we did more research, it's very, very common for golf managers and golf pros to do that. So I think that was a real big thing. And also being a 9-hole municipal course, I love the Westborough golf course. I think it's beautiful. I think a lot of people aspire to work at 18-hole private courses. So that's just kind of the feedback and what we've heard. So we're going to go back to the drawing board a little bit and start our search a little sooner. And hopefully we'll be able to hire somebody next fall.
Got it. Great. Thanks.
Jen, I had a question. Who's buying those electric golf carts?
The town is we're leasing them. So we're going to enter into a lease agreement this spring.
What happens? Who owns the golf carts that are currently there?
So Jack, the old pro, he owned some of them, and then he leased them on his own. So that was something that all the cart revenue went to Jack prior. Now the cart revenue will come to us to help offset the costs for the lease.
Was there any grants available for going electric? I guess if you're leasing them, maybe not, but.
We did reach out to a few folks that are big in Westborough sustainability, and they didn't know of anything off the top of their head. But that came up kind of at the 11th hour about a grant for, it'll be definitely something we look into as we move forward, because it's come up a couple of times.
I just raised it because last night on the school committee meeting, they talked about electric buses. And so it just had a grant for that. So when you said electric carts, my ears perked up.
Yep. So.
Was there anything else like that where he owned or leased that now the town will?
The golf carts are probably the biggest piece of revenue. Anything else, Earl, that he took in? That
merchandise, right?
Oh, yeah, just merchandise in the pro shop, but that was nickel dime. I don't think that was a big income for him. At one time it might have been, but it kind of petered down quite a bit. You know, I mean, yeah, that was the only thing. The golf carts was. But it was figured in the salary, you know. I mean, when he gave the RFP, you know, that was part of the whole thing, you know, and which was fine with us. That's the way it worked. I mean, for 33 years, that's the way it's been, you know. But no, I don't think there's anything. It's small things, but nothing big.
So that's where we're at with that. It's exciting. It's a new adventure. Yeah. I'm gonna have to learn how to play golf. All right. So the next is facilities update. Obviously, all the fields are still closed. I've delegated any field rental duties to Stephen, because I've just found myself needing to really focus at the golf course. So he's handled all of that so far, but obviously nothing is open. There's still snow on the ground. Specifically, what I wanted to talk to here is, I don't know if you remember, or maybe I've never brought it up, but the Mayberry Drive residents that want a playground near them. There's a parcel of town-owned land that is near Mayberry. It's on, I think, like High Street Extension and Mayberry Drive. And a few concerned residents said, you know, there's nowhere for their kids to play. They're always playing in the street over there, and they requested a playground. So we had met with them. When I say we, that's Christy Williams, town manager, and the old conservation director. And we sort of just explained to them what the process might look like. Reference to the tot lot came up, and I explained to them that there was a very motivated group of people that fundraised for that. So this has been going on for almost a year and a half. And one of the residents called me a couple of weeks ago and said that that, I don't know, the complex met or the HOA or whoever met, and they're ready to fundraise. And so he said, so now what do I do? And I said, well, hold on. So I wanted to bring it up here to let you guys know. But I also talked to Kim, the assistant town manager, about this. And this is not a parcel that rec manages. So all the different pieces of land in town are managed by different departments. So fields are ours, but there's parts that, DPW manages, things like that. So but this parcel is just managed by the town. So we don't even really know if we're allowed to say we want to put a playground there. Kim suggested meeting with, the town planner, the building department, police and fire, and just kind of seeing if it's even viable to put a playground there, and then going from there. But I just did want to kind of put it on your radar, open it up if there's any discussion or thoughts. Earl, I know you and I kind of talked earlier about it briefly, but that like I said, this is going to probably be coming before us. I don't want to say soon, but in the future. So,
I mean, they wouldn't be asking us to give money for it, right?
Oh, sorry, I wasn't clear. Yeah, we would need to, because what I've estimated is, unless they can raise, it's probably going to cost close to $500,000 because the area of land, there's a bunch of trees on it. There's a giant hole in the middle of the park. So it would have to be, all the trees would need to be removed. The ground would need to be brought up to grade, plus all of the playground equipment. There's no parking over there. And even before we get to that too, I think we would definitely have to do a public hearing. But yes, we would have to I would think the town would have to put up some money. There is a grant that I can apply for, and even with grant funds and fundraising funds, I still think there'd have to be a commitment from the town just because of how expensive it is.
Jen, two couple things. It's probably maybe a half mile to Bay State.
Yep.
And is that not convenient enough for them to get there?
I don't know. We've never really I think we kind of brought that up a little bit, but I think the way the community or the way the houses are set up, all the kids now play just in the parking lot.
I see.
So they kind of just instead to they were looking for a safer place for all of those kids to go.
I see. And then the development that's there, is that I've been there a few times. One of my colleagues that was on Little League, but is that all one property that's owned by the same company or management company? Is it something like Fountainhead? And does Fountainhead have its own park for the kids?
I don't know if there's a park, but there's a dog park up at I think Arrive. It's called now, or Fountainhead. But I think that it's all, I don't know, I shouldn't say, but I think it is all owned by the same person. It's all
they're individually owned units, I thought.
Yeah, so the Mayberry Court complex is individually, people can buy them, but a lot of people rent them out to other people. Like I have a friend of mine who is renting out from somebody else who owns that particular unit. I don't know about, there's something before the Mayberry, there's Mayberry Court Apartments, and then there's the units he's in, which I forgot the name of it, Mountainside, some fancy landscape something side. But then there's the condos that are across the street from there too, and there's also another condo. So I don't know what those are, but I know the ones in the middle there in Mayberry, those are all they're owned by somebody and they may live there, or they're rented out to other people.
I see. Okay.
Okay, let me just add my 2 cents to this thing, which we discussed at executive session a couple months ago when Jen and I were there.
Earl.
Yeah.
Hey, Earl, hold on 1 second. Go ahead, Jen.
So just to remind, executive session is private.
I know that, but I know
We're
that.
live, Earl.
I understand that. I'm not going to say that. But what I'm going to say is, there is 2 playgrounds close by this complex, one at Rogers and one the Tot Lot downtown, which are all accessible by sidewalks. Okay? Now, if you go to the other side of town where Beth lives, there is not any sidewalks up there or playgrounds. The only one up there, the closest one to anybody, is the school out there, and you kids can't go play in the playgrounds during school time or anything. There's nothing on that side of town. All our playgrounds are on the east end of town. We don't have anything anywhere except a little one on Hyder Street that's a neighborhood playground that's got a slide and a swing set. And that's been there for years. But, you know, to put another playground right down here downtown, I mean, it doesn't, I think the place to have another new playground would be a place is on the Daypray property, on the 5 acres that they kept for municipality. That'd be a spot to have something that'd be for the whole west side of town. But there's no playgrounds up there, you know, and all our facilities are down on the other side of the railroad tracks. If you think about it, you know, everything is down the other end of town. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
my question was going to be like, how many kids would this, you know, how many kids would this even, you know, support, I guess, if you were even going to
I think there's a considerable amount of children down there, and I don't dispute that property has been overbuilt. It really has. At one time, Maybury Drive, across from the center section, like Adam was saying, was just a couple of big complexes. Now it's wall to wall. It's all built up quite a bit, and there's a lot of kids there. And I understand people have moved in there, and there is no place for them to play. All the open space is gone. Why they allowed them to do that? Because there used to be a lot of open space there for kids to play in the yard. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. But that, like Jen was saying, that property is not under the jurisdiction of the rec department. It's under the jurisdiction of the selectmen, you know, and so naturally we'd help out if the selectmen decide that that's what we need to do. I mean, but until then, our hands are kind of tied.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like that too, Earl, because I felt for a long time that we haven't had a playground since the one on Ruggles Street was gone after they did the high school over, and it would be really nice to have a playground on this side of town. It just would be, it would be great. I have to go downtown, or I go over to Northborough, or I go to Rogers is kind of, you know, out of the way. So if I'm taking the kids by myself, I go to Bay State, or I go to Northborough. So, you know, I pretty much agree with you that another playground downtown just doesn't make any sense. But, you know, if they want to fundraise for it and the selectmen decide they want to do that, I wouldn't, you know, go up against it.
I'd be all for it if that's what they want. If that's what they say that we're going to do, well, then that's what we do. You know, that's fine. But I'm with you. I think we use 2 playgrounds on the west side of town. Never mind one, but it'd be nice to just get one.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
And Colleen, just to your point, that came up, how many kids in one of our initial meetings. And so Cindy actually from the schools sent me over a list of the kids, and it is considerable, over 50, I would say, that live over there. I don't have it total. I was just trying to look. So like Earl said, there are definitely kids over there that would benefit.
And Jen, is it possible that we just need to raise the awareness of the other ones, especially Rogers, to them?
We can, if for some reason, you know, it doesn't work out, because I definitely brought up that we had all of the playgrounds that we do have in town.
Yeah.
But I think they were just sort of adamant of maybe you know, there's this piece of land. Why can't we just have something here? But yeah, I can certainly remind them in the meantime that there are other alternatives like Rogers or the Tot Lot. So we'll see where that goes. I'll definitely, obviously, keep you updated with, because if we go out there and, DPW, so that was it's like DPW, engineering, kind of all of the players in town. Hey, this is where we're thinking. Is this even possible? If they say no, then it's just kind of, a done issue. So I just wanted to put that on your radar for something that might be coming down the line.
And Jen, one more time, what was your guesstimate at the estimate for?
I mean, I think just between like parking, we have gotten a couple of quotes because right before COVID, this was pretty active. They were really, I will say they seem very motivated to fundraise. They were even talking about potentially becoming a 501c3. So a lot of their, the gentleman was asking about company matches and stuff. So they seem pretty motivated. And just to get the property up to grade to put a playground, it was going to cost around 120,000. Then the playground, figure another 2 at least. But then there's always things that come up, there's no part, we'd have to put a parking lot in, and like I said, who knows what else. So I've been kind of saying at least 400,000 or 500,000, I would think, maybe lower, but I think it's going to be pretty expensive.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. All right. So the next thing, town meeting. I don't know if all of you have heard, but they did move back town meeting to May. We will have, outside of the traditional, the budget articles, the golf course will be on there for the budget. We ask for money to stock Sander Pond. But we specifically have, the algae treatment is going to be on the warrant this year. We're going to ask the town to pay for that. So $17,000 to treat the beach for the lake for algae. If you're going to ask, did it work last year? I think it did. We don't know. We weren't open. Steve, the board health director, he was obviously busier with other things this summer, but he said he didn't get any complaints about it. People were still swimming. We didn't get any calls. So I would say that it did. So we're going to move forward with that. And the conservation director, Jordan, will be taking on, he'll be asking for money to get a study of the lake done to see what a long-term solution can be for the algae, because you might remember that this is sort of a Band-Aid on a bigger problem. This study that Jordan is looking for funding for will determine what is the best solution to for a permanent fix. So that will be coming up in May. I think that's it. Oh, just under new business, I'm on the land prioritization committee. Beth, I think, are you on that with?
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about, I'm going to be on it for the open space.
So that's great. So I think, so you and I will be.
So yeah, that's great, Jen.
Yep. So that'll be I think that'll help to kind of get us a seat at the table. If there is land that comes up for sale, like how do we, maybe get a piece of it for, so it doesn't all get earmarked as passive. Maybe we could, split properties, have half passive, half for something else to build on. So that'll be good. And then
that's definitely on the minds of the Open Space Committee.
Good.
Well, I've made sure that they think about us when they're looking at land.
Awesome. And also the Hockomock Pond Reuse Committee will be kicking off soon. I'm a part of that. Earl, I think you're a part of that as well.
I know. I'm really excited.
We are live. So that is a site. I don't know where it is. Earl could tell you where it is, but it's been off. Earl, what is the history with the Hockomock
It's
Pond?
on the corner of Otis Street and Smithville Parkway. That's where the property is. It's right there in that whole corner. It abuts Hockomock Pond.
So Earl, wasn't there some issues with the quality of that water for a long time?
Oh, that was a super site.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That was a super site, and they have disbanded it now. I'm pretty sure that everything is. They're still monitoring it, but it's supposedly there's quite a good sized building there, and that's going to revert to the town, and the property's going to come back to the town. I forget what the. Maybe you know, Jen, how many years it's, I don't know, but there are lagoons there that are covered and everything, and nothing can be done on them. I mean, it's really, the only thing that area can be, I've walked every inch of it, I know it like the back of my hand, is walking trails. I mean, that's it. That's all you're going to do on that property is just a walking trail through there, you know? I don't see anything else being done. I mean, there was big lagoons that they used to keep creosote in to make railroad ties and telephone poles back in the day, you know. So hopefully they got a lot of it. They got it cleaned up, and the water is okay now, supposedly. So they said, and but it was one of the biggest super sites in Massachusetts when it happened.
Yeah, that's what I remember too.
Yeah. But walking trails are safe or anything like that. And I think conservation's really got a foothold on that whole piece of property. And back when we first looked at it and everything, I kind of said, I mean, Frank Desiato was the rec director then, and we were both said, well, we don't want nothing to do with this property. There's nothing very flat there, or, there's a bunch of holes that have been dug in the ground and grown up with trees and stuff like that. It's, it's been well excavated out over the year because there was a hot top plant there for American Oil worked out of there for years, and they made asphalt there. And anyways, that's, I guess the biggest thing there is what's going to happen with the building. Who's going to get that? That everybody wants it, but I don't know.
Let's sell it to Amazon.
So that's that. That's all I have. Anyone else on new business? I keep that. Nope. All right. So the next, sorry, go ahead.
No.
So I apologize too about moving all of the meetings around. But our next one is scheduled for March 9th. And I know that's only 2 weeks away, but I'm hoping that if we can keep it, because we're going to have to talk about the beach and opening the beach. So I think that might be a good opportunity to do that at that at the March 9th meeting. The governor, I think just today anticipates the end of March easing up on some of the restrictions, especially the outdoor gathering limit. I think I saw is going to go back up to 150. Don't quote me on that. I don't know. Yeah. So that'll be good for us. So I think if we can meet March 9th to talk about the beach, at least that would be good.
Did you get any applicants for the lead role there?
Not yet. So if you're watching and you need a job,
yeah,
I know. If you need a job, please apply. We're hiring a waterfront director and lifeguards.
Oh, actually, Jen, someone asked if you have to be 21 to apply for that position.
No, you just need to be 16.
Okay. To be the lead one?
Oh, to be the lead. No, we just, we can't put an age on it, but you do need some significant waterfront experience. Or pool experience. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
And Jen, one more thing before we close here. I think it was last meeting or the meeting before we talked about disc golf, and we're going to do some follow-up on that.
Oh yeah. Bill.
Yeah. Did we tell you about stop me if we've already talked about this part, but that a gentleman came out and we met with him? No,
I didn't. So that you were going to, but I don't think that had happened yet.
Yes. Oh. So we met with Earl and I don't know when that was, but basically I did not realize what disc golf was. I did not until he sent this proposal over. I thought it's so embarrassing. I thought it was just like a couple of trees. I didn't realize how significant the course was.
Yeah, the basket.
So he had sent over a proposal that basically went not through the soccer fields at the state hospital, but kind of through where you would park and maybe even part of the multi-purpose field. So it wasn't going to work out. Then he started proposing maybe state land, but that's not ours to say yes or no on.
How about Bowman Conservation? That
So
area.
then I reached out to the conservation director and asked him, because even, and I'm blanking on his name, I apologize, said that a lot of these courses are on, kind of conservation land, and that's who he's used to dealing with. And the conservation director really he didn't have a good site in mind, and he was disappointed because he actually likes the sport as well. But when you run into wetlands and other certain places, you can't, because I didn't realize either this gentleman was going to need to take down trees in some places. I didn't realize how much went into it. I really thought you just, oh, that looks good over there. I didn't know.
Yeah.
So I don't think that we have a great spot for it right now, but I told him that maybe down the line, if we do acquire some land or something, that can kind of just be in the back of our minds that, to reach back out to him. So kind of on hold for now. But now that I know what it entails, I can keep an eye out. And if anyone has a suggestion, happy to hear it.
Yeah, maybe let's meet offline. I'd like to talk to you about that.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, good.
Jen, the other topic that I will stay close to is the idea of an ice rink for next year. So we talked about getting a committee together maybe in late April, May. So if anyone's watching and is interested in an ice rink in Westborough for the winter of 21 to 22, we are looking for volunteers that can help brainstorm that. And I think the other thing we're thinking that we would want to think about is, could it be something a little bit more permanent that would allow for like deck hockey in the non-ice season, and then skating in the winter. So
that's great. That came up a lot as part of the master plan. And a few people brought up an outdoor ice rink. So
great.
Thank you. Remember.
Awesome.
Okay, so we'll stick with March 9th. Oh, are Tuesdays harder with softball starting now, do you think, Colleen, for you and Brian?
It's ending. That's just the indoor time that we have. So
okay,
it's ending in mid-March.
Okay, perfect. So we'll plan for March 9th, which I think is a Tuesday, right? Yeah, Tuesday. To talk about at least the beach and anything else that comes up. All right. Well,
Sounds
thanks.
good.
Thanks, everyone.
Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Good job, bro. Motion to adjourn we need.
Second.
All in favor, I guess.
Yeah.
Aye.
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 Goodbye.
Bye.
Have a good night, everybody.